Hello, I'm Davies, and in this, the last of the series of 16 talks on the Davies Hypothesis, I want to first issue an apology for the poor quality of the presentation. At times I come over as a mumbling old fart, which I probably am, but basically I have to work with the resources available to me. Okay, we began by outlining the uncertainties in the world, in particular the number one, which we found, although the foundation of mathematics, science and all reasoning and logic, number one was itself flawed, because not only are there two values to the square root of 1, there are 4 values to the 4th root of 1. And I suggested this gives rise to some of the paradoxes that we experience in life. By introducing extra dimensions, we were able to show in the early talks that the length of a piece of string isn't necessarily just what it seems. In fact, there is 2 values to a piece of string. And we were able to use this same technique to demonstrate that the universe had to be a duality, as postulated right at the very beginning of the biblical account of creation. We also showed that the Taikitu was a very good representation of this duality, particularly as it showed that there was some of the other part of the universe in our own and vice versa. We also showed that gravity extended over both universes so that it appeared weaker in our own, something that science has so far failed to demonstrate. We then went on to prove that these extra dimensions existed, and we did this by looking at time. We could see that the extra dimensions were the equivalent of the future and the past, and it also demonstrated one other aspect, and that is we could never ever know the future. It was impossible. We can predict it, but we can never know it. We also tried to show how quantum quirkiness could be explained before going on to black holes, dark matter and dark energy, giving explanations for why these exist and why they haven't been so far discovered by science. We discover through the Taikitu demonstration that time exists in our brain in 3 forms, according to the Trinitarian equation that we introduced into this series of lectures. And this, in time, introduces us into the idea of character and why astrology might have some foundations in truth, something that, again, science poo-poos. We then go on to discover, or go on to suggest reasons why people have after-death experiences and can relate them when they come back to life, and many other aspects of human spirituality. We also give a definition of consciousness, another subject that science has had difficulty explaining, but we can explain it by using the 3 aspects of time in our brain and man's spirituality. We also show that this spirituality, which gives mankind its ability to produce beautiful music, beautiful art, beautiful buildings, beautiful everything that defines man's humanity. And also why we don't need God. A lot of people do need God. They see God everywhere, but I demonstrate that God is only present in the consciousness, the minds of man. There is no other basis for it. And that the only mystery, true mystery, on this planet, on this earth, in our part of the universe, is to be found in the square root of -1. It's as simple as that. Nobody can define it or demonstrate it. It's present in our televisions, all digital audio equipment. It is absolutely fundamental to life on earth, and yet we still cannot identify it, draw it, show it, depict it, other than as part of an equation. So with that thought, I would like to end this little talk. I will just point out my book, which explains a lot of what you heard, Spiritual Man, An Introduction to Negative Dimensions, is available in book form from Amazon. It's also available for the price of a pint for downloading to Kindle and Kobo. I would like finally just to thank everybody that watched this film for taking the trouble, and any feedback I would greatly appreciate. You can contact me at kevildavis@yahoo.com. Also, any professional filmmakers who feel up to putting down all my ideas in a professional film, I'd also like you to get in touch with me on kevildavis@yahoo.com. Thank you all very much for watching these talks. Thank you, all of you.